So what if you could literally be your own bank? I mean, think about it. No tellers, no hidden fees, and absolutely zero waiting for business hours just to access your own money. It might sound a bit like science fiction, but this is the very real foundation of a massive, fundamental shift happening right now in the digital world.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a guided tour through a purely digital financial city. We are exploring the architecture of decentralized finance, breaking down exactly how this revolutionary system is attempting to rewrite the rules of money from the ground up, using nothing but transparent code. Here's our map for today. 1. Banking without the bank. 2. The smart contract engine. 3. Swapping, lending, and borrowing. 4. Yield farming and staking. And 5. Surviving the risks.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, banking without the bank, breaking down the traditional walls. To really address the biggest friction points of the old world, we have to start with DeFi. Decentralized finance is, simply put, a financial system built on blockchain technology. It allows people to access services like saving, borrowing, and lending without a bank, a broker, or any middleman standing in the way. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that you're no longer asking for permission to use your own capital. You're utilizing a decentralized architecture to just bypass those middlemen entirely. And when you put them side by side, the contrast is stark. Traditional finance dictates that you have to endure hidden background processes, wait days for simple transfers, and basically beg to transact between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on weekdays. DeFi, on the other hand, it's open 24/7. Transfers happen in seconds all over the globe. Anyone with an internet connection can jump in. You control the money, not some institution.
Moving on to section 2, the smart contract engine, the technology powering the ecosystem. Now, to understand how we actually bank without bankers, we really need to step into the engine room. This whole decentralized city is built on one foundational piece of tech, the smart contract. These are basically self-executing programs that live on a blockchain and automatically handle financial transactions. Zero human involvement. So you aren't trusting a loan officer to approve your paperwork, you're trusting this immutable, self-executing code to handle your assets exactly as it was programmed to do. To see this engine in action, just look at the painfully slow, multi-step process of getting a traditional bank loan. You fill out an application, you wait for approval, the bank pulls your credit score, then you wait days, sometimes weeks, only to finally get approved at a super high interest rate. It's a system that just creates inherent friction and relies heavily on gatekeepers. Now flip the script. Look at the elegant simplicity of the DeFi loan process. You connect your digital wallet, you deposit your collateral, and boom, you instantly receive your loan. The smart contract handles absolutely everything in the background. No credit check, no waiting period. The code just verifies your collateral and executes the whole transaction in a matter of seconds. It's a real game changer.
Let's head to section 3, swapping, lending, and borrowing, your new financial toolkit.
So let's see how these smart contracts form the building blocks of actual platforms you can use right now. Think of these as the major decentralized banks of our digital city. On platforms like Aave, which happens to be the largest DeFi lending protocol, or Compound, you can lend your crypto to start earning interest immediately. Or, over on MakerDAO, you can deposit an asset like Ethereum as collateral to instantly borrow a stablecoin called DAI. It's this entirely automated peer-to-peer credit market that just works around the clock. But alongside lending, you're going to need a place to exchange currencies without a broker, right? Enter the Decentralized Exchange, or DEX. Platforms like Uniswap on Ethereum or PancakeSwap on the BNB chain offer massive benefits over your traditional stock exchanges. There's no identity verification required. You maintain total control of your funds the entire time, and you can trade any token directly from your wallet, day or night.
Which brings us to section 4, yield farming and staking, putting your crypto to work.
Transitioning from simply holding assets to actually generating passive income usually requires a safe haven. And that's where stablecoins come in. These are cryptocurrencies pegged to a stable asset, almost always the US dollar. Whether you're using centralized options like Tether and USDC or decentralized ones like DAI, stablecoins really matter. Why? Because they let you earn interest without the wild price volatility that's normally associated with crypto. They give you that safe harbor during market swings while keeping your capital ready to deploy. So how do you actually earn that yield? Well, by providing liquidity to the market. A liquidity pool is basically a collection of funds locked in a smart contract that literally enables the trading on those decentralized exchanges we just talked about.
By depositing pairs of tokens, let's say equal parts Ethereum and Tether, into these pools, you become a liquidity provider. In return for facilitating the market, you earn a share of the trading fees every single time someone uses your pool to swap tokens.
But hold on, we need to pause here for a massive caveat. Providing liquidity exposes you to a very unique risk known as impermanent loss. This happens when the price ratio of the two tokens you deposited changes significantly on the open market. Because of how the automated smart contracts rebalance the pool, you might actually end up with less total value when you withdraw than if you had simply kept those tokens safely sitting in your wallet.
If liquidity pools sound a bit too complex or risky, there's a very popular alternative: staking. Staking means locking up your crypto in a specific contract to actually help secure and validate transactions on a blockchain network. By supporting the network's operations, you earn rewards. For example, participating in securing Polkadot might yield 10 to 12% annually, while securing Ethereum offers somewhere around 3 to 5%.
5 to 12% APY. I mean, to put that into perspective, that is a striking contrast to the fractional percentages currently offered by your traditional bank savings account. This massive difference in annual percentage yield is exactly why so many people are drawn to these decentralized protocols. They want to put their capital to work.
Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Surviving the Risks, Navigating the Hazard Zones Safely.
Our tour really wouldn't be responsible without a mandatory stop at the security office. Because look, here is the harsh reality. The exact same transparent code that makes DeFi so incredibly powerful also exposes it to significant risks. Hackers are constantly probing for smart contract bugs to exploit. You've got rug pulls where malicious developers simply steal the funds and vanish into thin air. There are brutal market liquidations if your collateral unexpectedly drops in value. And of course, countless phishing scams designed to trick you into handing over your wallet access.
So how do you survive all that? Well, treat this checklist as your absolute survival guide. Stick to well-known, heavily audited protocols. Always start with tiny amounts to test the waters. Double-check website URLs carefully to avoid fake sites. But the absolute golden rule, the one thing you literally must take away from this explainer, is to never, ever share your private key or seed phrase with anyone. If they have your key, they have your money. It's that simple.
And when you're out there researching which protocols to trust, you need to rely on data. Always check a metric called Total Value Locked, or TVL. This tells you the total amount of funds currently secured in that specific protocol. It serves as a really vital health metric. A higher TVL generally indicates a battle-tested platform with strong community trust and deep liquidity, which makes it a much safer bet for your assets.
DeFi truly is banking without banks. It lets you lend, borrow, trade, and earn without a single middleman in sight. But always remember, there's no customer service hotline to call if you make a mistake. You are in total control, which means you, and you alone, are responsible for your own security.
We've mapped out the smart contracts, the lending platforms, the liquidity pools, and the hazards of this incredible new financial frontier. The tools to bypass the traditional financial system completely are sitting right there in front of you. The only question left is, with great power comes great responsibility. So are you ready to be your own bank?